About 5 minutes east of the quiet town of High Prairie, Alberta, you'll find a small business with some big ideas. At first glance, Christies Gardens and Greenhouses is about what you'd expect from a growing garden center. Row upon row of flowers, bedding plants, hanging baskets, and planters.
Hi! This is the bride's bouquet, and it's held this way.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful.
There are also numerous perennials, trees, shrubs, a few vegetables, and a dash of the unique. A few things you could only describe as, well, different. And then there's, well, we're not really sure what you call that. And what would a farm-based business be without some cats and some local kids to play with them? With help from her husband Tanner and many family members, Christy started the operation in 2013 on the site of Tanner's family farm homestead. Remarkable advancements in the horticultural industry now mean that customers have nearly endless choice of options, color, size, and shape from numerous new and old varieties. While researching her greenhouse and garden center idea, she created a customer profile, or avatar.
And through that, I realized that my customer avatar wants to learn how to garden, but doesn't understand how to break through into it.
Christy clearly understands that people find plants complicated, and they have anxiety about whether their choices will work in their garden. So at the heart of her business is a passion to demystify and simplify the growing of plants. Making gardening simpler is her first step to building relationships. When a customer enters the greenhouse, Christy stops what she's doing and tries to make a connection.
I really like it because it's a little bit different.
Does it grow tall?
It stays quite short.
At first glance, Christy is growing and selling plants. But what's really happening here is she's sowing seeds of engagement in an attempt to harvest trust.
The physical plants that we sell, obviously we sell the highest quality, best grown plants, I believe, in Northern Alberta. But what I see as a business owner, we sell information.
Her long-term goal is to become the trusted go-to source for all things plants, not just in High Prairie, but ultimately across the country. So to reach this goal someday, she has invested significant time and effort in customer relationships.
Well, the return is starting to show up now. This is our third season in business, and we're starting to get return customers that are telling us the success stories they've had with their plants from years before. It's happened several times this year, actually. It was amazing. We do track the time and what we're putting into it pretty closely, and we have tools like Google Analytics in the back end and Shopify Analytics that help us see the return on the value that we're putting into it.
One of the more significant steps in building customer relationships and establishing themselves as the go-to source of information is the website learnplantgrow.com.
Interestingly enough, we came up with Learn, Plant, Grow because we knew when we built our business plan that we would be putting on courses for the community and opportunities for people to come into the greenhouse in the off-season and try different things and learn different things. We really realized that the learn part of it is so much more than we ever anticipated. It's not just about having people in the greenhouse to teach and to show what we can do, but it's also about the online side of it, where we can blog about it, where we can write articles, where we can do some videos and show people and really to reach further than we ever anticipated.
Ironically, Christy believes that her success will come from doing for herself exactly what she's doing for her customers. Staying focused by simplifying complexity.
We are growing so quickly, we actually can't bankroll our growth. And so that's something that we work with our business coach on, is he's like, watch your growth. Don't grow too quickly, because we don't have the cash flow to basically fund it, even though the market's there. Sometimes we can diversify ourselves into too many areas, and then you start not doing something well, so it's time to pull back and cut it out, and focusing on what the core business really is.
While her business world is increasingly high-tech, a key strategy Christy uses to maintain her focus is very low-tech. She simply writes everything down.
I'm a very visual person, so I feel like if I can write it down, it's a step that I can take further to the next level. And I've always had an idea book is what I've called it. It actually says ideas on it. And so anytime I get an idea, I try to write it in my idea book. And then as I flipped through my idea book, I realized a lot of those ideas I've actually brought forward now into actionable steps, which has been kind of cool. I spend an average of 30 minutes to an hour every day either reading a business book or listening to a business podcast. And I feel that is crucial to my success in running the company and focus on learning in different areas. So whether it's marketing or it's accounting or it's website development, I really try to hone into other industries and listen to what they're doing and take that information and apply it back to my industry.
Christy Pollock is actually typical of a new generation of entrepreneurs in agriculture, people that don't consider themselves a success until they've established a better, smarter, and more effective way. Clearly, she has figured out what it takes to succeed. A little grit, some proven success habits, and a little moxie too.